report the news that nobody else has the balls to report.
508. 508. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. Where I'm from, we don't use no gas and burners. We don't rep no corners. We're straight money earners. Put you to sleep, make your whole family mourners. When we're done with you, they're gonna have to pick your ass up at the corners.
We're gonna get demonetized.
Me and my crew will hit you with that right, left, leave you toothless. Yeah, cause
you have a job? What do you
that's
do?
some true shit. You don't want to in this cap, we left your cats in the ambulance. Food stamps, leave your clothes bloody and damp. Then we're scooping up your tramps. 508, where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. See,
let's get this party started, shall we? Yo. What's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good. Welcome to the Turtleboy Live Show, the Saturday night edition. I'm your host, Uncle Turtleboy, and we are broadcasting live from Turtleboy International Headquarters. Happy Superbowl Sunday Eve. I've gone ahead and I've shared the link to this stream on the various social media pages that we run. I would urge you guys to go and give those a like for me, share. They're growing kind of quickly, some of these pages. The Clarence Woods Emerson page, the Turtleboy Sports Facebook page, and the Uncle Turtleboy Facebook page. They're all growing. But again, Facebook is letting us stay up for a bit now. This has never happened before. They're just letting us grow. So go and like the pages. I understand Facebook's not as popular as it was a couple years ago, but get on there. It's the best way we really have to share our content and get it to a wide audience and get some good commentary in there. Okay. Also on Twitter, you can reach me at Dr. Turtleboy. That's at DOCTOR Turtleboy. Because if Joe Biden's a doctor, then so am I. I'm closing in on, I think, 11,000 followers there. And I'm on Twitter at Turtleboy Phone as well. You can follow me on either of those accounts. We got an Instagram account at Turtleboy_daily_news. Get at us on there. I don't know if we've cracked 1,000 on the air. It's somewhat new. And the most important thing you guys need to do, though, please go ahead and do this, is smash that subscribe button. If you're new here, you're going to want to hit that because we normally do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 9 p.m. On the weekends, sometimes it changes depending on schedules, but usually it's Saturday night at 9 p.m. However, I'm thinking about changing up the weekday schedule and just doing, it's a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like every freaking night, because they do the Turtle Club on Wednesdays now. So I was thinking I'm probably going to cut the live show down on the weekdays down to one day and then do Turtle Club on the other day. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to start that, but it's going to be soon. So I'm thinking probably do a live show on Tuesday and then do Turtle Club on Thursday and then boom on Saturday, regular live show, recap of the week, whatever. So we're probably going to do that. So hit that subscribe button, come and leave a comment when it's over. That all helps with the algorithms, and hit that notification bell. I understand a lot of you guys probably hit the notification bell and you're not getting notified, right? Because Facebook's shiesty like that, but keep hitting it anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lone Wolf. It's just a lot, it's a lot. So again, I love doing this stuff, but it is time consuming, and I do write blogs too. You guys might be familiar with that. I do write blogs, so it's all out there. You can still read the content in various ways. Okay. No, we need more Turtleboy. Well, it's kind of like the incentive to sign up for the Turtle Club thing. That's the thing. It's like, so anyway, if you guys would like to donate to the program, all right, I don't have a freestyle this week, but because I just ran out of time, it's another time consuming thing. Sean Carrot came through already. Holy shit. We do have a dono thing at the top. See, we're banned from the goddamn, super chat. We can't monetize on YouTube. So we had to build our own. It's called Turtle Chat. And so the thing at the top, you click on that, you could donate whatever amount of money you want, and you get to leave a message. So you can give a shout out to your boy, your homie, your dog, maybe call somebody out. What was your child support? I don't know. There's a million things. You can write whatever you want on it. I'm going to get a notification on my email, and then I'm going to bring it up. Like, for instance, I just got this one from Mr. Carrot. Boom. She says, here's to another awesome show. Carrot beer, Caribbean. Now that's what he chose to write. You can write something more appropriate, less appropriate, doesn't matter. It's your turtle chat. Okay. So keep hitting that like button. Hit the thumbs up button. Keep, sharing it on social media. Get the word out. We are live. It is what it is. Okay. So without further ado, we also have with us tonight our professor.
Professor.
Professor. I'm just going to do a professor. Our professor, Deb. How you doing, Deb?
Doing well. How you doing, Aidan?
I'm good, thank you. And then also joining us from across the pond, the Welshman, the Druid, David Owen. How you doing, David?
I'm absolutely excellent. I've actually been back to Wales today. I've had a 400-mile round trip to Cardiff, which is the capital city of Wales, because there's a massive rugby game on in Cardiff. Wales against Scotland.
Who won?
Wales won 20 points to 17. It was a great game.
Interesting. So how can I ask you, how do you score points in rugby?
Right. Okay. Well, if you score a try, which is like a touchdown, you get 5. And instead of a 1-point kick after a try, you get a 2-point kick. So you can score 7 for a converted try, but you can also have penalty kicks, which are like field goals, which are 3, like field goals. Okay. And there are also drop goals, which are 3, which is a kick from open play.
Okay. So it's 7. So 5, and then if you 2-point conversion is 7, and so that's how you got 20. You got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, we got 1 5 and 5 threes.
And do you talk a lot of shit at these things?
Oh God, yeah.
What do you say to the Scottish?
Well, in fact, rugby's very good natured, but yeah, the noise is bedlam when Wales score or when Scotland score. Scotland were great. They had thousands and thousands of Scots in Cardiff today supporting their team because Scotland beat England last week, so they were on a huge high coming into the game.
Wow.
So yeah.
Do you guys make fun of them for like not?
Not really. We're sort of.
Well, they voted against their own, David. They voted against their own independence.
Yeah.
How do you not rub that? How do you not rub that in their face?
Well, look, I agree with it. We're stronger. We're stronger as a union. That's like Texas leaving the USA. We're stronger as a union.
I mean, if I lived in Texas, I would probably want to leave the USA. But,
yeah, I know a lot of them probably do. Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I want Texas in the USA because
I think the thing with the Welsh and the Scottish is we are united in our mutual dislike of the English. Sorry, Laura, no offense. We like you, but
Laura's in your neck of the woods.
Laura's in Wales at the moment, yeah.
Yes, and Laura is going to be joining me on the Turtle Club on this week. We're either going to do it Wednesday or Thursday. Because she has a story to tell as well. We've both kind of been misrepresented in several ways and by this hussy named by the name of Christina Yakimowski. So we're gonna have a lot to say about that on Turtle Club. We're going to be reliving the whole thing. I'm going to show you guys exactly how it all went down. Like, it's like psychopath like you've never seen before. Like, I've analyzed a lot of psychopaths on here and the things they take. I've never seen anyone this devious. The things that this woman said to us, not just me, to her, to others, to Diane too. And to just lie to our faces for months and months and months. It's fucking insane. Like, I've never met a lunatic quite like this before. But anyway, that's going to be an interesting show.
I have to say, I'm glad I've had no dealings with her.
Yes, you're better off. You trust me.
Yeah, sounds that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so where was I? All right, let's start off this episode like we start off most episodes with a little thing called Where You Reppin'. Let us know in the comments right now. Where are you watching the live show from tonight? Go ahead. Who could not like Laura? Exactly, Caroline. Exactly. Dorchester's in the house. Malden, Pembroke, Lynn, Potosi, Missouri. That's a new one. Florida, Marshfield, Nashua, Easton, Hanson, Naples, Florida, Whitensville, Boston, Glendale, Stonington, Connecticut, West Hampton, Quincy, Long Island, Plainville, Mashpee, Mattapoisett, the pocket. That's of David's bathrobe. Okay, Quincy. All right. Tucson's in the house. Brockton's in the house. Brant Rock is in the house. Connecticut in the house. Newton's here. Cheddar Crispy's house is in the house, etc. I was in Connecticut yesterday. I went down to Foxwoods Casino, David. You know what's fucking crazy? So you can't you can't gamble in this state, in Massachusetts. It's so when you want to log on to like a betting app or something, remember happening this last year. You couldn't do it for the first time. I couldn't even go in Bovada. Nothing.
Can you go through a VPN and pretend you're in Connecticut or somewhere?
I suppose you probably could. I've had no luck with VPNs in the past.
Right.
To me, they don't work very well. But we live next to 3 states, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, that all allow you to whatever. Yeah. So Connecticut's the closest state to me. So I drive down to the casino last night. I mean, I went to this with Foxwoods. It's the world's biggest casino. And I went to the sport book and I started placing some bets there. And then you can do the rest from your fucking phone. Like, you have to be in Connecticut. So I literally went to Dunkin' Donuts in Plainfield, Connecticut, and sat in the parking lot for like an hour and a half because I do so many prop bets. You gonna watch the Super Bowl, Dave?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Even though the Packers aren't there, I think it's a close one. But I like the Bengals.
I think it's going to be a very close one.
I think it's going to be very close. Yeah.
Yes. So I have gotten a bunch of bets in today. I see what I like to do. Why is it making me? I don't see my state here. Okay. Now I can't log into my app. I can't even see my fucking bets. How can I not see my bets? It's not even letting me see the bets that I made. I made like 50 bets today. I bet on crazy shit here.
Listen, you go on about you're the land of the free, but you're not free at all. You can't you can't even gamble. I have 2 or 3 betting apps to use, and it doesn't matter where I am. I can place bets, and
Yeah, like when did I ever say that this was the land of the free? This ain't the land of the free.
It's in your national anthem, the land of the free and the home of the brave. It's the last 2 lines.
Well, you won't hear that from me. That's a bunch of bullshit. As we can see, Canada is quickly becoming the land of the free. Those guys are up there.
They're doing good, aren't they? Yeah,
they're about to go free the world. The cops are coming. Though.
They're not responding well to the tyranny of Trudeau, are they?
Have you ever seen a bigger feckless cunt in your life than?
He's revolting. I saw a speech he gave this week where he said, "We will not bow down to the swastika," and you go, these are proud, hard-working, ordinary Canadians, and he's accusing his own people of being Nazis. It's an absolute disgrace.
Well, that's all they have. If they couldn't call you a Nazi, then you'd have to actually focus on their grievances that they're there to redress the government about, and they can't do that because they know that they have no answer to those things.
No, they haven't got a leg to stand on, so they're just playing the race card that's patently false.
No, call them Nazis, and that immediately discredits everything that they have to say. But I'm telling you, those guys up there, they are going to start a revolution across the world with this shit. And in fairness, the British kind of helped us too, because you blokes over there were the ones, you guys got rid of all this shit. And now we're over here like...
Our Prime Minister made a fool of himself with his Christmas parties, put himself under pressure. And then as soon as people started saying, look, we've all had the double jab and COVID has spread. Omicron's spreading like wildfire. It's not working. Let's just get back to normal. And he couldn't really fight back because he was already in a hole of his own making. So he just caved in and just said, right, we'll get rid of all the bans and the mandates. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of my bets too that I make are like stupid. Like I do like a lot of, I don't bet like even money on anything. I just do wild shit. Like, I'll bet the exact score of a game. I bet some. I'm
like that. Yeah. I don't want to double my money. I want 15 or 16 to 1, or I'm not interested. Yeah.
Right. Like I'll bet $2, like the exact score. Like I forget the exact scores I picked. But here's what I think is going to happen in these games. I think the fucking Bengals will get behind a little bit. I think Burrow's going to have a fourth quarter. I think the fourth quarter is going to be the highest scoring quarter. And I think they're going to come back. I think and I picked different scenarios where the Rams win by 2 or the Bengals win by 2, because I just think there's going to be a scenario there where they're going to need to go for 2. Like it always happens like that. And then they're either going to tie it and go to overtime, or they'll miss and they'll lose by 2. I think that's what's going to happen. That seems to happen. I think it's going to be a 2-point game. That's my pick right there. I'm not sure who's going to win. But I think
it's going to be a very, very close game. I think it could be a really good game as well.
Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, let's get this party. Did I forget anything, Deb? Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think you're good. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Let's get this party started. Let's get the first blog up here. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, we've got some doozies as well tonight.
Oh, boy.
Sorry to everyone who'd made comments. I wasn't paying attention. I've just seen my name fly up in the comments there. Someone referring Joe Calzaghe. Yes, he's a South Walian. Was a great fighter, retired undefeated as well.
Absolutely.
Take me down, and you can see it. Can you? Oh, here. There we go.
Okay, here we go. All right, so first blog of the week. We got another sex trafficking situation, David. We started the week off in Linfield.
It's rife, isn't it? It's rife.
It's everywhere. And this one had a lot to say. Let me pull it up on
every market basket you go in, the aisles are being...
Yes. So this woman, her name is Alyssa DeSimone. And if you scroll down, she's from Boston. Let's see her. Keep on going. There she is. Okay. Ooh, not too spicy.
She's tidy. She's tidy enough. Yeah.
So she goes to Suffolk Law School, which requires a new pantsuit. So she's all grown up now. And she posts the following of her, not her account, her sister's account. So she goes, last night at around 12:30 a.m., my sister was being followed home from Market Street in Linfield. The car behind her was consistently beeping, driving crazy, and would not stop following her. When she realized she was being followed, she didn't go home, but instead went to Irving gas station in Wakefield. The woman driving the car continued to beep and follow her in circles in the parking lot until my sister called 911 and the police showed up. The whole experience was very scary and seems like it could be part of a sex trafficking ploy. If you're at Market Street... Please be careful and be aware of your surroundings, especially if you leave alone. If anyone recognizes the person or plate number, please let me know. The car is Mazda, whatever, plate number blank. And then she goes, edit. People have been asking, so I figured I'd write it here. The police have determined there was no harm caused, so they let the person go. They got a name, a license, registration, but could not give the information to my sister for privacy reasons. My sister got a good look at the person and has never seen her before. Seems like her behavior was an attempt to try to get my sister out of her car. Again, be careful. I've read stories similar to this happening at the Woburn Market Basket parking lot, Woburn Bertucci's parking garages on Route 3 in the Lowell Billerica area, and the Burlington Mall. This is unfortunately happening very local. Be aware! And then she posts a picture of what appears to be a lone woman sitting in a Mazda in the rain or snow, mind you. And so that is that. So what are your thoughts on this, David? Do you think this is sex trafficking?
Well, let's look at this. First of all, a lone woman is probably going to struggle to kidnap someone inside another vehicle and bundle them away. Mm-hmm. Secondly, if you're going to you're not going to drive close behind them and honk your horn. You want to sneak up on them in a darkened parking lot or something, you don't run them off the road where there's cameras everywhere and make yourself and just then await the authorities to turn up and recognize your number plate.
Yeah,
so I think this is the paranoid ravings of a delusional maniac.
Okay, well, keep in mind this is also a third-hand story. So her sister, she's speaking for her sister, who told her that this is what happened, and I'm with you on this one. So let me get this straight. So this woman is so she thinks she's being followed by this woman, and the woman's driving around, beeping and following her in circles. So that just doesn't, again, like you said, if you're going to kidnap somebody, I feel like you should probably keep a low
profile. You plan it in advance and you sneak up on them. You don't honk your horn and make it absolutely obvious. Hey, kidnapper here. Pull over. Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand. We got a Russian oligarch on a yacht. He needs you, okay? We're trying to sex traffic you.
I need you to just get out of your car, Mom, and get in the trunk of my car, please.
Yeah, just hurry up. Maybe you didn't see me. I'll just honk louder and then drive like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And in case you don't know, I'm armed with colorful language.
Yes. So that seems implausible at best. It just seems something off about that. I would argue
preposterous.
That most times when I've seen people like this, especially 12:30 at night when that many people are out on the road, if they're honking and doing stuff like that, I'm willing to bet either this person's a psychopath, whatever happened to just plain old psychopaths. Like that woman's a crazy.
Could have just been a drunk driver or someone who they cut up at an intersection who was just road rage is much more likely, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever happened to just crazy bitches. She's just a crazy bitch who's she's a woman driver. She doesn't have that going for her. So she's out on the road late night, honking her horn, acting like an asshole, maybe this is a road rage thing. We don't know what the other woman did before because this is a third-hand story, okay?
Exactly.
But where on
somebody said, at least somebody in the comments said, at least it's a bit different. Normally, it's somebody on a mobile phone in the frozen food aisle, isn't it?
This is a very different one. But question: why do they always default to sex trafficking? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that always the thing?
It's insane, isn't it? You know the principle. You know the principle of Occam's razor, don't you? Where the simplest explanation is the most likely. And why do they default? You're quite right, to the most outrageous, the most unlikely explanation.
Well, that's a good question, and I think the answer is in her paragraph there, because she says at the end that, again, be careful. I've read some stories similar to this happening at the Woburn Market Basket, the Woburn Bertucci's, in the Burlington Mall. Okay, translation, she read other posts from the Pumpkin Spice Mafia and was one of these idiots who blindly oh my God, watch out, sex trafficking is real. Now, let me just say this. I've shared some of these on my page, and even my followers sometimes are like, don't you know, I'm usually with you, Turtleboy. I like it when you call out the ratchets and the bad guys, but she's just trying to bring awareness to this and you're attacking her. It's like, no, time out. She's not doing that. Okay. What she's doing, she's doxing somebody. She posted somebody's goddamn license plate who, for all we know, could be completely innocent. We don't know this. You weren't there.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. The police determined they were innocent. That's for sure.
Yeah. If they were so bad, if they had like ropes and shit in their backyard for, back of the car for sex trafficking and like, a shovel maybe and some lime.
Yeah.
Then you might have an argument there. Like, okay, this might be sex trafficking. Maybe. But it was just a woman in a Mazda. Like, and what they're going to bring?
That's really scary, isn't it?
Is this like the JV squad of kidnapping and sex trafficking? Like, you need someone sex trafficked, right? So you're the Russian oligarch, and you need you need a couple whores for your boat, whatever. You need some sex.
Who do you send out? You send out a 5'3", 120-pound woman in a Mazda because nothing speaks. Yeah. I'm going to take you away forever, like a small woman in a Mazda.
And again, I don't know that much about sex trafficking, but I would assume the ideal sex trafficked woman would be like, a Janetti pass around, like somebody who's gone through fucking.
They would be certainly easier to bundle into the back of a car.
Well, yeah, and they would be, they're not going to fight as much. Yeah.
The problem with people that passed around by Giannetti is they're usually dead afterwards, so they're not much good to the oligarch.
Yes, that's true. The Russian oligarch is not going to pay top dollar for Mike Giannetti's, for Mike Giannetti's leftovers. Yeah, that's a good point. So anyway, so she says, let's read some of the comments here. Can we scroll to some of those comments? Does Deb? Oh, here they are. Okay, let me pull these up.
Oh, just, there's two other things they're doing as well as believing the word of other Pumpkin Spice Mafia. One is they're becoming part of the story. They're inserting themselves into a sex trafficking story, which makes it all exciting and important. So they're making themselves important. And secondly, and this is the bad side of it, which is why we're right to call them out, they're spreading fear where no fear actually exists or no reason for fear exists. So they're actually, they're actually making things worse.
Yeah, and this is why I always, first of all, why do I write about this? First of all, it's funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Sorry, I'm an entertainer, right? Like, it's I do news.
Very funny.
But I do entertainment, right? This shit's fucking hilarious, okay? So she's like, you're reading these comments, and Simi, Bruto said, that's terrible. I'm glad she made it home safe. So awful. Alana was smart not to go to your house, but call 911. Glad she's all right. Glad she's okay. I know one thing, though. She would give them hell for sure.
Yeah, that's what we want.
She would give them hell for sure. No, she would not. She fucking ran. She's not like, she's a tough girl. Oh, shut up. Okay. Wow, that's scary. Oh, my God.
When it comes down to facing small women in Mazdas, she is tough.
She doesn't back down. Should have come here. No. Did the cops see this person? Then she's like, yes. She tried to tell the person that Alana was following her instead. Because of privacy reasons, the police couldn't give out the name of the person. So the other woman claimed that her sister was chasing her down. So, there's another side to the story. How about that? That's interesting.
And guess what? Neither side is sex trafficking.
Yeah. So imagine the Mazda lady turned it around on her. Actually, I was the one being sex trafficked. That bitch is trying to sex traffic me. And I read about it on Facebook last week, so it must be true.
Yeah, it must be, because I was in the Woburn market basket only 10 minutes ago, and that's a hotbed of trafficking.
Yeah, so much traffic. I mean, two
So
highways
much
go through
trafficking.
there. They
Yeah.
intersect, 95 and 93 meet
If
there.
there's anywhere you're going to get traffic from, that's where it is.
Totally. So anyway, there was no harm conducted by the person. They were allowed to go. Be careful. So AKA nothing happened at all. And this got shared. I'm going to see, is this chick still on Facebook? I don't think she took her post down. Let me see. Usually okay. Let's see, her Facebook post is, it's still fucking up.
Oh my God.
It's still up. Oh my gosh. So nothing has happened at all.
No.
She learned.
Has no one tagged the story into the comments? Because that's what normally gets it taken down.
Well, she doesn't have an open page, so she probably it's got 4,000 shares. I'm gonna message her.
See, 4,000 shares.
Yeah,
that's just insane, isn't it?
But you know what? That's almost good marketing. I'm we're having trouble getting the Turtleboy.
Yeah. Perhaps you put up put up a story about you being followed by a couple of Uzbeks in Dollar Tree, and now you're in, man. Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're thinking this is good marketing. I'm
Please share. Okay. Be aware.
The 160 people watching, don't tell anybody. But we're gonna test this out. Okay. No, seriously, you can't tell anyone. So I'm just gonna write maybe on Monday, be like, oh my God. Okay, went to fucking Big Y to get some stuff for Superbowl, and oh my God, almost got sex trafficked, guys. Please be aware. Thoughts and prayers. I was there with my son, and somebody looked at me, and he was almost sex trafficked.
He was on a mobile phone. Yes.
I'm
to the Uzbeks.
Dude, I could probably get 1,000 new likes in one day.
That would be awesome, because a few of us would just share it for devilment anyway, and then it just goes out into the world and multiplies.
I'm going to really do that. I'm going to see.
Do a story like that. The Turtle Riders will share it, and let's see who else then shares it on.
Just a Facebook post.
Oh my God. Facebook post, yeah.
You can just say about your sister or something, like my sister, because that's all she did.
Yeah.
My sister
No, it doesn't even have to be about you.
Yeah. All right, let's get the next one up, shall we? Can we speak? The thing
Speaking
about
of
sex trafficking. Speaking of sex trafficking, it's actually real. Apparently, and if you want to know what real sex trafficking looks like, we're going to find out in this blog, which took a big left turn out of Quincy when I started doing research on this one. So I got sent this story by this woman's friend. So this woman named Jennifer Jordan, her friend sends me this story, and there's Jennifer Jordan. Your typical Quincy trash skanko, whatever, single mom, living her best life, doing her thing. And she's a recovering, a 23-year-old slug pump who
she's got a disease. Yeah.
Yeah. She went out to a bar called Coops in Quincy, and she claims that she got jumped by a gang of racist waitresses. So let me read this post to you.
Yeah, that always happens.
In a Quincy Facebook group. So let me read this. Sharing for a friend who's not in the group, but is hoping people will think about reconsidering giving this place their business after her experience Saturday night, Coops Bar and Grill. I was assaulted by 3 of the waitresses and bartenders after paying my tab before they were closing. I was in it with a group of friends. A few had already left, but I was still there with 2 guy friends paying the bill. Our waitresses came back over after I paid the bill and was very aggressive, saying the tip I gave her wasn't enough for the amount the bill was. She was tipped between 15 and 20%. I checked the receipt after all this to make sure. Okay, stop right there, David. So this doesn't make sense. So she's there with 2 guys. The waitress comes over after she paid the bill and was aggressive, saying the tip I gave her wasn't enough for the amount of the bill. What does that even mean? It wasn't enough for the amount of the bill.
I have never heard, and I've been both sides of the coin. I've worked behind bars. No, not in prison, I hate to add. I mean, serving behind bars. And I have never gone to a tip and go, well, that's not enough of a tip. A tip is a tip is a tip. Some people are generous, some people aren't so much, particularly in the UK. But
so she must.
Whoever, a waitress I've never seen anyone go back and go, that wasn't enough of a tip.
Unless. Like, let's say the bill is, $100.
Yeah.
And she left $50, but she left a $20 tip.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, to me, that's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah,
Like she's like,
they hadn't covered the bill, let alone the tip.
yeah. We got the tip. We got the 20%. Now you're just missing the bill part where you pay for the food,
all the
and
drinks.
beer. Yeah. So that costs money too. So thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. But actually, the tip doesn't go to me. It actually goes to this, and then I get the tip. Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently, and she didn't pay card, obviously, because card would just pay for it all. So it must have been cash only. So this ratchet's going in there cash, and it decides that this is she's just going to pay a portion of it, I guess. So she goes on, and she says, the way she was talking to me because of her issue with the tip, and hearing a waitress mention anything about how much they got back for a tip was a first for me. It escalated as soon as I said something back that she didn't like. I took my phone out and started recording a video because I had a feeling something was going to happen. So stop right there. Stop right there. So she says something the waitress doesn't like to hear. So AKA she probably called her a skank hoe or something really ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes her phone out and starts taping. Okay. You start doing that. It's like an escalate. Like you're, oh my God, I'm going to start taping you. I can't have a civil conversation with you. So I'm going to start, you're going to be on Twitter and Facebook and I'm going to make you famous. She pulled one of those things.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that for a second, that is what, like that. So to me, I'm picturing what's happening while she's explaining this. And I think that, do you agree that seems to be what happened here?
Yeah. The story just doesn't ring true from moment one.
Yeah. So she goes, once she saw I was recording, she grabbed my phone out of my hand. Next thing you know, I'm on the floor being hit multiple times in the head by her. So I've never heard of this before. Like the waitress kicks your ass.
Yeah. There's not a big series on one of the channels called When Waitresses Attack, is there? Because
when waitresses
it's not a common thing.
That ass. When waitresses whoop that ass. So she was whooping that ass. And once she saw, next thing you know, there were two other employees who started hitting me in the head and kicking or punching my body with this woman at the same time. So this story just got crazier. So now this woman is beating the shit out of her. And then the two other waitresses jump in and they start kicking the shit out of her too. I don't know about this story, David. It seems a little
preposterous again, isn't it?
It seems far. I mean, this is like the most, I've never been to Coops in Quincy. I understand some turtle riders have. This sounds like the most gangster bar of all time. If this is like the waitresses don't fuck around there. You talk shit to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you finna catch these hands.
I mean, when we have gang trouble in the UK, it's usually the waitresses. I know you have the Bloods and the Crips over there, but we have the waitresses and of course the waitresses, dog. And the hairdressers. That's the other vicious gangs that go around mugging people.
Oh yeah. Well, they give you
those hairdressers. Oh yeah. More of that later.
Yeah, more than exactly. So anyway, let's see. There were two other employees who started hitting me in the head and kicking me with this woman. I'm obviously unable to get up or defend myself, and I felt hopeless. I was the only girl. My friends had already left. I'm 115 pounds. I don't fight. I find that hard to believe. Hard to believe. Or rarely go out or drink for that matter. I find that hard to believe. This was inside the restaurant. Everyone stood there watching it happen, some taking videos, posting it online instead of trying to help me or call the police. Quincy police were able to tell me they had no calls reporting the incident Saturday night. One of the employees who just helped basically jumped me, grabbed me, and drags me into the bathroom, offering to help clean me up. What? And demands me to delete the videos I recorded. So this woman who just beat your ass is like, yo, oh, honey, let me go clean you up.
Yeah, that's what they do. They smack the bejesus out of you, and then they go, well, there you go, and here's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, just delete those videos. Yeah, I said I would absolutely not delete those videos.
Can we be at BFFs now?
Yeah, and if it weren't, what did she say? If it weren't for the videos, then let's see, I would not delete. And if it weren't for the videos, and if it I took and other people standing around getting entertainment, these people would probably get away with this. The guy friend I had still been there with saw her forcing me into the bathroom and got me out of there. Then we left immediately. People can get crazy at bars. They run their mouth or get loud, causing problems. We've all seen it. A physical altercation, being assaulted by a woman who worked there, speaks volumes. These are 45 to 50-year-old women acting ratchet and ghetto, unlike her. Looking for a fight with a 23-year-old, and they made all sure it happened.
They weren't They weren't
What?
just young waitresses either. They were 45 to 50. They were a couple of grey-haired
no.
old grannies with
You got your
trays
ass.
cleaning the crap out of her.
You got your ass whooped by the Golden Girls in the Quincy version of the Golden Girls. Like, what's it?
That's it.
Have
Oh,
some
man.
humble pie. So this experience makes me sad knowing this is something to be worried about happening if I want to go out and enjoy myself on a weekend night. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Like, you go out to the bar. This is common now. You just go out to the car, and then sometimes the waitresses beat your ass. Sometimes
That's it.
it happens.
I've been to the middle-aged waitresses. Yes.
I've been to a lot of bars. Not only have I never gotten beat up by a gang of waitresses, I've also never witnessed it happening to anyone else.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
Never seen it. So yeah, that's odd.
Is it weird that I'm slightly aroused at the idea of getting slapped around by a couple of 45-year-old waitresses? That would do it for me, I tell you.
Have you seen some of them, David? I think
I never thought of that there. Which town is this again? It's Quincy. Oh,
it's
yeah.
Quincy. Yeah.
That's a hard pass all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yikes. Big yikes. Every chick there looks like an extra from like
they look
from the
like Homer Simpson's sisters-in-law, Selma and Patty.
Or like the chick from the town that like Ben Affleck, she's hung up on Ben Affleck, and she doesn't like that he went for the Harvard chick. She doesn't like that. She thinks she's fucking smarter than me, doesn't she? Because she went to Harvard. She thinks she's better than me. She's not even from Quincy. What the fuck is she even doing at this bar? Why don't you go back to Chicago or wherever you came from? Because we don't want your trash. You think you're better than me? Why? Because I do heroin? Huh? You think you're better? You think you're better than me because of that? Well, you're not. You're not.
Like every Mark Wahlberg film you've ever seen.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Brenda Marshall makes a good point. She said all her guy friends had left, and then one of them rescued her from the bathroom, so she can't even get the story straight, can she?
No, she can't. So she says, I'd go home in this condition, barely. She goes, I'm a mom myself, and I have a toddler to get home to. Words are words. I would never in my life think by going out for the night while my daughter is with her father, I go home in this condition, barely able to lift my head off the pillow because of these employees. This business will 100% suffer the consequences, and I hope no one else or whatever. And then she posts the goddamn pictures. Can we see these pictures there, Deb? There we go. So, yeah, like the eye picture, okay. And if we scroll down, okay, so let's check out the actual video. Yeah, so her, which this proves nothing.
Broke a nail.
The face doesn't even look that bad, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah,
makeup. It could be. If there was a fight, I'm not sure she's telling the whole truth about the altercation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, here's what happens. Video number one. So there's no sound in this one, but you see there's one woman. And so the waitress is she's some sort of altercations happening there with the waitress and the woman. We don't see what happens before that. Also, she's not filming this because she's the one in the altercation with the waitress, and the other waitresses are trying to pull her off. That should be noted. Okay. So that's a lie. So this whole thing about I got jumped by the waitresses, your own video that you posted, and we're supposed to destroy this bar now to defend your ratchet honor is just debunked completely by you. So
where are the other people coming to the rescue if she was being so hard done by?
It's another good question. And this is like the waitress from The Perfect Storm. That's exactly what it is. Like so many movies like that. All right, let's see scene number 2, video number 2.
Look at him! Oh, look at him!
Out! Get out! Okay, so it turns out the guy in the green hat, by the way, works for Coops, and the other guy was the one that she was friends with there. So that woman right there, by the way, I mean that woman's great. That's what I mean by. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she was not falling for this woman's bullshit. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm bad."
She does not look impressed, does she?
And she just had one word: out. And I'm with you, Bree. It's like, why was the 23-year-old there? Like, this seems like an older person's bar. Well, because she wants to get drunk, obviously.
Yeah,
And she's
but she has
probably
a
looking
toddler
for
at
some-
home, yeah.
For some reason, yeah. Like, that's the other thing. You left the daddy at home and you're out with some guys getting drunk. Cool story. But you could tell just by the woman's reaction that, like, whatever this woman had done, she had lost sympathy from everyone in that bar and nobody felt bad for her at all.
No.
So let's
no.
see video number 3.
You're black. You're black. Because I'm pretty. Because I'm
really pulling that card. Get out of the restaurant because you're as white can be.
I
must
love
have
that
been
one.
really desperate where a girl as white as she clearly is from her profile and pictures
Okay.
tries to play a race card. Unbelievable.
Can I just say I love that woman? That woman is like, if Quincy had a mascot, it would be this woman. I love this woman. She's just like, okay, you're white as white can be. Get out. Get out.
So you hear a voice say in the background, "You're black. You're going to play that card."
Oh my God. That woman is the official mascot of Quincy. God bless her soul. And I mean, she looks like my type. I'm going to be honest, Dave. She looks like my type of broad. Like, she looks like the type of woman. Like, that's my demographic right there. So I don't want to shit on it. Like, that's like, I bet she's a good person. I bet she's cool. And she's not putting up with this woman's bullshit. She's not falling for whatever bullshit this woman was selling about, like, what the fuck? She's saying,
she wasn't going to back down. You know, it was like, fuck your customer service. You're in the wrong here, lady. And I'm going to tell you straight.
That's Katie. Who's Katie? That's her name. Can we get her on? Anybody know her name? Let's get her on. She's like,
Turtle Cadet says he loves her in a non-sexual way. Well, I think we like her in a sexual way as well.
What did she say one more time? Can I hear that video one more time? That last one.
Go for it.
I want to hear that one more time about exactly what they say.
You're black. You're black.
Because I'm pretty. Because I'm really pulling that card. Get out of the restaurant because you're as white can be. Give me my fucking phone, bitch.
Get out of the restaurant because you're as white can be. And I don't know if you heard what she said there before that. So the woman, she says to the woman, I transcribed it, and the bouncer says, "You're black." So she goes,
"You're black? You're going to play that race card?"
Before the video started filming, she must have said, "You're kicking me out because I'm black." Okay, just for clear, just because you blow a lot of black guys, that doesn't actually make you black. Okay, honey, I'm sorry. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, but that doesn't actually make you black. Just to clarify. And then she says, "What are you mad about?" Because I'm pretty. It's like,
no.
Yeah, that's why she's mad. Or maybe because you started a fight with a fucking waitress and you didn't pay your goddamn fucking bill. And the waitress says, "You're really pulling that card? Get out of the restaurant because you're as white can be. Give me my fucking phone, bitch." And then their ass gets tossed out. Okay. So then we read about what actually happened there. And this is
are there other comments from other people who were present, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. And so let's see. Let me read this. Wait, people in the comments were present there?
No, on the Facebook page, people started responding, didn't they, to her?
Oh, they
original...
did.
Yeah.
Oh, so this. Oh, not on my page, on her post.
No. On the original post.
On the original post, actually, most people were like supportive of her. But like,
oh
my
right,
gosh, that's horrible. I'm like, nobody's gonna question this. Okay, and so this is what one guy actually posted. He goes, "My friend was there and watched it all. She didn't leave a tip, and her friends bailed before paying. They were being ratchet all night, and the waitress asked her to leave, and she started a scene and got beat up and was embarrassed because people were recording it. She approached the waitress arguing first, and she got dropped and beat up by one older woman." And the two other girls working broke it up, and that the video confirms that. Their own video evidence. No one helped her because they all said she deserved it. She was in there acting up for hours. Okay. So anyway, I do a little digging on this woman, and there's a twist to this that I did not see coming. Sex trafficking. This
came out of left field, didn't it?
This totally came out of left field. So I Googled Jennifer Jordan's name. And in 18, a couple of years ago, she was arrested for sex trafficking because her and a woman named Mirabelle Billings and another guy named Jaquan, the three of them were enlisted by a 52-year-old he must be wealthy business owner in Cape Cod named Patrick McDowell. And there he is right there. Let me see Patrick McDowell. There he is. So Patrick McDowell from the police report is the owner of PKM Contractors. And let's see what he did exactly. So he would pay women or pay these people to get women to have sex with them. So he goes, Nickerson did. So here's the summary. McDowell had sexual encounters with women aged 17 to 19 between October of 2017 and early January 2018. They would come to his house in Dennis or meet him in hotels. He would give them drugs for the sexual encounters in return, or he would pay them large sums of money. Two of the victims were 17 at the time they met McDowell. There were incidents where these women were asked to have sex with other men. So they pulled an Abrams here with while McDowell just watched. Rothstein alleged that Montero, Billings, and Jordan were paid by McDowell to procure the women. I mean, that's a good point. I mean,
so here's what sex trafficking actually looks like. It's not shady Eastern Europeans hanging around in Dollar Tree. It's people you know offering you drugs and large sum of money to shag old men.
That's it. That's it. That's literally
that's what it really looks like.
That's what real sex trafficking is. Some Quincy barfly is like, hey, that I know you have a bad, addiction to OCs. I can get you a whole bunch of OCs. You just got to come blow this guy real quick.
Yeah, he's a bit fat. He's Irish. He's Irish. He's in construction. Yeah. But, don't worry about it. A lot of money.
Just close your eyes, suck his dick, and
think of England.
Think of the Queen. Think of happy thoughts. Just think of all the OCs.
Go to your happy place while
you're gonna get
he finishes off on your face.
Yeah, when you're fucking tripping your balls off later, none of this will matter. So just have a great time. That's what actual sex trafficking looks like. And the victims of sex trafficking.
It is not shady Uzbeks in the frozen food aisle.
No, it's just fucking crackheads who get taken advantage of. And of course, this guy, Patrick McDowell, he's a businessman. He's not going to know where to find any of these people. I don't know where he knows Jaquan from, because Jaquan is a fucking criminal too. And obviously Jennifer Jordan is a crackhead.
Jaquan. Now, he could play the race card, I'm sure, with a name like that.
I mean, let's look at can we show Jaquan's picture there? Yeah, like if I'm Patrick McDowell and I need some crack whores, right?
That's who I turn to.
I'm going to this guy.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he can hook it up.
Don't go to Giannetti. This guy will provide living women to. Yeah.
Go to Giannetti. They're not going to have a pulse. It's not going to be nearly as fun.
No.
Not nearly as fun. So there he is with his freaking guma. No,
I'm going to Jaquan. He brings live bait.
Anyway, so that's what actual sex trafficking looks like. Okay. So why don't we go on to the next story, Deb? Can we go to that one that I just did about the Lunenburg water thing? Let's talk about some.
Oh God!
I don't want to say so many words you can't say here.
Yeah.
But COVID stories, okay? Because this is new.
Virus.
I just did this one
virus stories.
Virus, yeah.
Just being generic. Virus could be any virus.
Virus. Correct. He's rich. If you were a rich pervert, would you do anything different? Yes, 7 pounder. I would.
Yes, I'd go to bars and pick them up myself.
Yeah, or just hook up with somebody who's not addicted to drugs because you're rich, and they'll come to you. Like you'll be okay. Yeah. What do you? And he's got a girl. He had a hot fucking girlfriend too. That chick was hot.
He paid them $5,000 at one point. Do you know what kind of hooker you can get for $5,000? You don't need a wasted drug addict. You can get top of the range for $5,000 a night.
Or just like a person with a soul. You can get that too.
And a pulse. Yeah.
Yeah, and a pulse. Yeah. So anyway, here's a nice lady from Lunenburg. If we can scroll down here, she's a mother. I think she has 2 or 3 kids. I think the oldest is in 5th grade. I'm assuming because they're 10. Her name's Ashley, and she made Boston 25 News because because her kid got in trouble at school and didn't get in trouble at school. Her kid was coming home.
She blew the whistle, didn't she? Yeah.
Right. She blew the whistle. So she came home. Their kid was coming home with a water bottle full of water. Now, my daughter brings a water bottle to school every day too, because ever since COVID, like at Davis Hill Elementary, they shut off the bubblers. I don't know. We call them bubblers here, David. They're water fountains. You call them
Fountains, yeah, fountains.
Yeah. So they shut them off because, I mean, whatever. Like, it's probably, I would think in the era of COVID, those would be a prime area. I don't really know how science works, but the bubblers would be a way that it could spread. They're kind of gross anyway. School bubblers.
Yes, yeah.
When I was in school,
you put your gob round a tap that everyone else has had their gob round. We're back into sex trafficking now, aren't we? Yeah.
Those bubblers in school, man, were fucking filthy. The water was always
unhygienic. Yeah,
just warm, and there was no flow. Right? You knew which
there's no pressure. No pressure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so now, people bring their own water to class, and so when I was, I'm a coach first, right, and then I was a teacher, and we're running a lot of miles, right? We're doing cross country, we're doing a lot of miles, and you need. It's not enough to just stretch and stuff. You have to properly hydrate the entire day. You should drink a gallon of water every day. I try to, and like water is the best thing on earth for everyone. It's so good for you. It flushes out your system, man.
We're about 80% water as human beings anyway, aren't we?
Yeah. It's got no calories. It's great. It's good. Love water. So, I encourage kids to drink it. And to me, if you're in class and you're trying to take notes and, we're going pretty fast. If you go to the bathroom, you're going to miss shit, right? And so I don't want kids to miss class. So you should bring a water bottle to class. It's like, it's perfect. Kids take a sip. What do I care? If I'm the teacher, like you're not on your phone, you're drinking. It's like you're distracted. You're taking a sip. It's fucking water. Everyone should drink water. This should not be at all controversial in any way whatsoever. But apparently in Lunenburg, it is. So this woman's daughter gets in trouble, but doesn't get in trouble. She comes home and she hasn't been drinking all her water, and her mom's like, "What's up with that? Why aren't you drinking the water?" And she's like, she tells her mom, "They make us go outside the classroom to drink water, and I'm a good student. I don't want to leave the class and make a scene." So if you want to you're sitting at your desk, you're some kid in the 5th grade in Lunenburg, and you want to have a sip of your water, you can't just put your mask down and take a sip, because David, if you have the virus in you, and then it could get out. Now, keep in mind, all the other children in the class are forced to wear masks. The teacher, there's like a 98% chance the teacher is jabbed. So if the jab works and masks work, then nobody in the class should have any fear of that spreading. If the girl taking the water has COVID in her system somehow and lets it out there, everyone should be good because they're all protected, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Excuse me.
Speaking of water.
Yeah, I need some water.
Have some water.
Actually, I'll have a sip. It's kind of water. It's mostly water. It's about 4.5% alcohol, but it's hang on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that's going on is that either all the precautions work, in which case, what are you worried about? Mm-hmm. If they don't work, then why are you letting people mingle and mix in schools? Right. And see, we've all known pretty much from day one that kids, if they're young and they're healthy, they don't have any comorbidities or anything like that, it doesn't even hurt them.
No. It's like they'll be fine. Like all my kids had COVID. Like it's
cool. What we're
like,
actually doing is kowtowing to the paranoid fears of the teachers.
So Teresa says this was a DESD rule. Kids says no, they did not. That was not actually a rule, because the mother looked into this.
Yeah, they claimed that, but it wasn't true.
I wanted to get her on tonight, but she is I think. People are in this day and age, they're so afraid they're going to lose their jobs. So I did speak to her. I haven't checked my messages. Maybe she got back to me. I'm not sure, but she's a little hesitant about coming on because everybody's worried about, losing their job. Oh, she's messaging me right now. She said she'll call in. Let's get her on here.
Oh, great.
She must be listening. Okay, hold on. I'm going to send her a link. Hold on. I'm going to send her a link to get the mom on. Let's see. Invite, copy. Click on this. She knows this more than me. Like she knows this issue so good. She was telling me about so she's researched all of the rules with this. It's not a rule. There's no rule that says the mother's going to call in a minute. There's no rule that says that the kids in the classroom have to step outside to drink water, because no other schools are doing this. Like, I talked to people in other school districts. They're like, no, we don't do that. That's like, think of the science in this, David. So wait a minute.
Yeah.
So if you have COVID, right?
Yeah.
You can go into the hallway and spread COVID there. It's okay.
Yeah.
The hallways are where everybody walks. Like, every time the bell rings.
You can go to sporting events with 70,000 people watching American football. You can do that. But you can't sit socially distanced in a classroom without having a mask on. Where's the consistency? All we really want is consistency, to be honest.
Step outside. Like, that's absolutely freaking insane. Okay. Do we have her? Let's see. So she just called and messaged. Does that work? We're going to try to get her on. But this makes no sense. Let me read the the superintendent's comment on this. She says, she told me it's because there's a policy. They have to ask permission to leave the classroom. She said the school district was told students have to drink water in designated mask break zones, whatever that means. The child should be able to have a sip of water. I think putting a barrier on access to water is creating something that children have to overcome. Lunenburg Public Schools Superintendent Kate Burnham said her district is just following DESE guidelines, but that's not true. Students are not being denied access to potable water. One of the protocols included in our reopen plan was to have students just step outside the classroom door in order to remove their mask and take a drink from your refillable water bottle. In this way, the student is putting a brief mask break in Watergate. And why are they doing this? Well, she says the reason why is because that Burnham said her district based its COVID-19 safety protocols for the 2021 school year on DESE's guidelines and didn't feel the need to adjust the protocols for the 21-22 school year. Except, David, what happened between 2021 and, like, there's a climax that came out, right? That's kind of a big thing.
Yes.
Because
most people took it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And of course, the other thing that happened was the virus mutated as well.
And these are the same people that tell you that, like, oh, the science changes. The science changes. Well, apparently in Lunenburg, it doesn't. They just do the same thing. So I think we have Ashley.
What's this town called? Lunenburg?
Lunenburg. Not Lunenburg. Lunenburg.
Okay,
is that
my mistake?
Welcome to the show, Ashley. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So tell me about the research that you went into this. Is this a DESE rule?
No. And the reason I joined today is because I'm listening to your show, and I think you have your perspective and a lot of political things around that. And there's a lot of people that have similar. But my approach to this has been all about what everyone tells us to do. Follow the guidelines, right? So all of our opinions aside, let's follow the guidelines. This is not a DESE guideline. That's it.
No, it's not. So this is just in Lunenburg. This is happening. I've never heard of any other towns doing this ever.
And that's why all of the news stations were calling me, because they also have not heard anyone doing this. It's not a standard practice. I called 13 districts myself and could not find anything implemented around water at all.
Nobody.
So,
I mean, it's because it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. I did see in the comments a woman named Amanda Lemaria said, I do this in my classroom. Water bottles stay in the hall. Kids ask, go get a drink and come back. Instead of trying to make something of an issue when it's not, this mom should teach her child the importance of advocating for herself. Asking your teacher to get a drink is certainly developmentally appropriate for a 4th grader. So what do you think of that?
I am probably one of the strictest parents that I know. I'm probably a little too uptight at times, to be honest. So I don't like soda. I don't like juice. I like my kids to eat healthy. I make them follow the rules. I make them do chores. Like, I am pretty old school here. Everything that she said there is, child's awake, is not appropriate in my eyes, because water is a basic right. That's it.
Yes.
There's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing else to talk about. Just drink water. And I would argue that, like, it's so unfair to put that on this whole my biggest beef with this whole pandemic is what it's done, the burden that we've put on children, like the rules that adults don't have to follow, but kids do. There was this picture of Stacey Abrams without a mask on in a classroom last weekend in Georgia, and all the kids had masks. I've seen that happen multiple times when that has happened. The professional sports leagues and college sports leagues, the basketball players, they don't have to wear masks, but high school kids do. And so we've just put this, even in our town of Holden, right? We don't have a mask mandate in Holden, but the high school does, like, because it's DESC. So we've put so kids can go into Walgreens or wherever, any place in Holden without a mask on, but except for their school, they can't. And so we're just putting this horrible burden on children. And it's one of those things I think we're going to look back on and be like, remember that time that
definitely, yeah.
Remember that time we denied kids the right to drink water?
Sorry. Right. What they're also doing as well is no one's looked at the impact on the mental health of children not being in school, the protection that affords to vulnerable children as well, not being in school, and all the other stuff that's come out of it, saying, no, it's got to be all about the virus. And they're not looking at other sides of their welfare that have been disproportionately affected in a negative way.
So it's funny you say that, because a lot of my job is actually around that. I work in healthcare quality, and I study data and I gather it to see what are the needs in our community. And that is around basic needs. So access to water, food, transportation, healthcare, behavioral health services, education. Those are all basic needs, basic necessities. They're called SDOH. So a lot of my role actually revolves around just this. So wherever we can remove barriers, we should be doing that. Water, there's no barriers around water. Why?
There shouldn't
even be a conversation. No. It's ridiculous that we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
No, it is.
What's angering the people? Sorry, Aidan, go on.
Well, the amount of people, what I was most deterred about was the amount of people in the comments. I thought we would all agree when we saw this headline, that's ridiculous. But unfortunately, a lot of people kind of missed the big point about this. And let me read some of these comments. Go on to the next one. So this is the teacher that was whatever. The next woman, I really got annoyed by this woman's comment. Her name's Susan Crandall. And she says, teach her how to follow simple rules that don't hurt her, especially during difficult times. Well, she is, okay? And enough with the difficult times thing. It shouldn't be difficult. Like, we're the ones that are making it difficult. Okay. It'll make her resilient. And that's what really pissed me off when I read that. I am so sick and tired of adults telling children that, oh, it's okay, you're resilient. It's okay if we mask you. It's okay if we, don't let you go to school and see friends because you're resilient. No, I'm so sick of that, like telling that being our excuse for doing this to kids. Well, they're resilient. Well, no, it's not. You didn't have to be resilient when you were a kid. You got to drink water when you were a kid. And it's just so do you agree? I mean, are your kids resilient?
My opinion is I'm not sharing my opinion.
Okay.
Okay. So I am keeping my opinion to myself. I have my opinion. I'm sure it's very clear what my opinion is around this, but I'm going to go by the guidelines. So that's what I'm doing. And there's no guideline around this, so it should not be implemented. As far as saying my children should be taught to follow the rules, my children are following the rules. And I told them to continue to follow the rules, unless, of course, they're denied, the permission. It doesn't mean that this is right. So I'm also teaching my children that if you have questions around something, it's okay to ask, which is what I did. I went to the superintendent and I said, hey, where is this policy coming from? Where did you get this recommendation? I'm curious to look at the data. I specifically asked her to see the data, the recommendations, where this came from. And I wasn't giving that. So I did the right things and I went to the right people. I asked the right questions. It took me 30 minutes to get an answer from Desi. So I should be hired by the school district.
Apparently. I mean, well, you have to get a special haircut like all these other women. They all that's one thing I did notice. They all seem to have the same haircut, some of these women. Can we see some of those pictures, Deb? Scroll down.
And again, I am going to say nothing other than
correct. You're here to follow the guy. Now, let me ask you this.
I know.
because
This is Farrah Fawcett, 1977 haircut.
Yes, basically. Now, I do kind of disagree with you on one thing. It's just the following the guidelines thing. Like, if the guidelines don't make sense, I don't think we should follow. I mean, I disagree with, like, for instance, today. So I go out, I live in Holden. We don't have a mask mandate here. West Boylston does have, it's a neighboring town. They do have one. And so does Worcester. And so I go into a Subway to get food at like 6 o'clock. I go in there and it's a mask mandate town. And so I don't wear masks. So I go in there and they say, do you have a mask? I'm like, no. And then he comes back a minute later with a mask for me. And I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing that. I'm not doing that. And he's like, well, you have to. I'm like, well, I just want to give you money. Like, I have money in my pocket right now. I just want to give it to you. Would you like my money? Because I'm not wearing that mask. And a smart business person in this case is just like, oh, yeah, sure. I'm like, because there's a Subway in Holden. I can go there without a mask on. I can just give them the money that I was going to give you. And moron was like, no. So to me, that's like an example of like, this is a stupid guideline. Not all guidelines are created equal. So I do disagree with you on that one. Just to be clear,
Yeah.
you sound like a rule follower.
Honestly,
I think there's
Go ahead.
No,
I was going to say, I think the part of the problem is that there's been a lot all the way through the last 2 years of people in power saying this is a case of I'm saying it, you do it, and the guidelines aren't necessarily a reference point. It's do as I say, and then not as I do. So look at Gavin Newsom and people like that. They're making these rules. They're not following them themselves, and the rules themselves were ridiculous to start with.
So are you a rule follower, Ashley?
I am.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I can't help it. Honestly, all the people saying that, if anything, I'm uptight. I'm an uptight person. I'm also from a small town. I have my political beliefs, and I was raised to keep them private. And
I don't even know what they are.
You'll never be a teacher then.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be probably any of these things. And honestly, I feel bad for the teachers too, because I feel like they're put in a spot where, and that's why some of these teachers are implementing this policy and some are not. They have no guidance how to implement this. Some agree and some don't. It's just very unfair for everybody. And so that's why I think especially when it comes to our jobs, my job has protocols for everything, and they're in place so that I know what I have to do. And if I don't agree with them, I'm sure I can find a different job that aligns with what I want to do. But I have guidance to follow and expectations that I'm supposed to meet, and I do that. That's my job. Everyone deserves that. So if you're going to implement a rule, then it should be based on something that is valid, and there should be some sort of guideline around it. I mean, that's what it is. So if you want to come over to my house and have a conversation about my beliefs, that's fine. I do that in private, but I don't share my opinion to the world. I'm not a crazy Facebook person,
Well, not crazy, but you were defending yourself very rigorously on that post, and good for you. And I don't know how you kept your composure in there. I could not have the way you did. You were very composed. You were very matter of fact, because these people were trashing you. Like, they're just like trashing your parenting. Like, what's that like? Like, tell me, how do you keep your composure when you see these strangers, just because they were doing that?
I'm confident in the words that I'm saying, and I know what type of parent I am. So I could care less. I know that I've worked hard for the life I have. I know that I have a good career, and I know that my children are raised with love and respect for people. I know they're going to grow up and they're going to be good human beings in this world. And I'm advocating for water. So there could be a debate around probably any other thing I say, but not water. It's water. What the heck?
Yeah.
Why are we even talking?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the people, right, were basically like, they didn't get it. The back in the day people were like, well, back in the day, we didn't even have, like, that's not the issue. First of all, we're not back in the day. We've evolved.
Welcome.
We've evolved since then. And congratulations. Like, you also got spanked by the nuns back then.
Yeah.
Would you like us to bring that back too? No, we're not going to do that. And you're missing the issue. The issue is, this is absurd. Like, if there were no COVID, they would be allowed to drink water bottles in the classroom. So that's the issue at hand.
No, hold on. You know what the issue actually is? It's not about just COVID. They've been drinking water in the classroom. They've been drinking water throughout the whole school year.
Oh.
Up until oh God. Yeah. This is just
they just randomly decided that. Yes. They just randomly started to enforce this. There must have been some sort of meeting where they're like, we need to crack down on this.
Okay, so 18 months ago, in a 50-page document, there was one sentence on page 15 that said something along the lines of water was going to be consumed outside of the classroom during mass breaks. 18 months ago. For this entire school year, that has not been implemented. Not at all. After Christmas break, my daughter says that this has been implemented. So I've talked to an abundance of students or parents that are saying the same thing. Recent weeks, the school never told us that this is going to be re-implemented. When I called the superintendent's office, because the school told me this was a policy and I didn't recall hearing about it, they said, this is not a policy. I said, well, the school thinks it is. This is, yes.
Okay.
The school thinks it's a policy. They said no. So then I called a different district school and I asked them, is this a policy here? They said yes. So I called the superintendent back and said, there's an issue. Is this a policy or not? They said no. The next, or at 3:00 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, the superintendent emailed me back and said, she heard about my concerns and her office was correct. This is not a policy. It's a protocol.
Oh. What does that mean? What the hell is the difference between a policy and a protocol? That sounds like it's just a fancier word for policy.
Yeah.
Protocol.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not okay.
Yeah. And so she's trying to say this has been implemented for 18 months where that's not true. It's just a whole cover up of a weird situation. I don't know the answers to it because they won't communicate with parents. So, here I am. It's just very strange.
Well, that should be unacceptable. So, well, thank you for advocating for your daughter and highlighting this, because this is absurd. And it sounds like, in fairness, that your coverage of this and your whistleblowing it sounds like they're going to have some sort of meeting about this in which they're likely going to say, this is a ridiculous thing. We need to let them drink water. Just let them drink water. It's that simple. It's a human right. Let them drink water. So. All right.
Thanks for listening to me talk about water.
Yes, anytime. Good luck with the hydration. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. So anyway, let's get those likes up. Let's get some more likes in there. Can we get some more? How many likes we got so far? We're up to 98. So let's keep them likes coming. All right. Deb, let's see. What story do I want to go on to next? Why don't we do let's talk about Michelle Wu. Can we bring that one up?
Oh, Mr. Wu.
Michelle Wu, about how she is deciding. Okay, this was just priceless, Dave. So,
man, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this is the DESE, I think on like Tuesday or something, they announced that they are quote unquote granting that kids can take off their masks. Now I hated this. I kind of hated the whole like, oh my God, thank you, blah, 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 because it just leads credence that they had the right to do it in the first place. Like, no, they had no right to do this to your kids at all. And they did it.
It should be about time too, you tyrants. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a debate. Remember, I was leading the the Wachusett version of the insurrection against masks in August. We were going to school committee meetings. I was giving speeches. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like, we were going to force the school committee to vote on whether or not they're going to mask our kids. They were probably going to vote yes. And all of a sudden, the DESE came in like a week before school started and said, well, we're going to make your choice easy. Everyone in the state is going to have to wear a mask until November 1st. And that turned into December 1st. That turned into January and then February. And then finally, Baker's like, okay, we will let you do it. And it acts like, I feel like we shouldn't even give them the credit for that. Like making them think because it makes them think they had the right to do it in the first place. But whatever, I digress. Okay. Now, I would like to point out that this is going to become talk about equity. Here I am talking about equity and inclusiveness, David. diversity, equity, inclusion. I'm a big DEI guy, and I see that I quickly noticed my school district, which is overwhelmingly white. They immediately announced, the superintendent, that we will not be having masks. Okay, because it's up to local districts now to decide what they want to do. Our district is not going to do it, and my daughter's so pumped. She gets to go to school. She's never been inside her school before without a mask on, ever.
Good
she's so excited.
That's unbelievable.
She's never seen anyone smile. She's pumped to go to school without her mask on. Okay. And I'm pumped to see her. I hate when she gets off the school bus every day with that stupid mask on. And I got to first thing I say is, take off your mask. Just take it off. I want to see your face. I want to see you smile. I want to, you know what I mean? Just take off the goddamn mask. Anyway, she's not going to have to do that anymore because she goes to a white school district, basically. If she was, a Puerto Rican version of, Baby Turtle Girl and, Boricua Turtle Girl, and we lived in Worcester.
El Turtlita, yeah.
El Turtlita, yes. Pequeña. She would have to wear a mask because these urban school districts, which are overwhelmingly, not white, they are forcing kids to continue to wear masks to school. So basically,
sounds a little racist.
White and here I am playing the race card, but the white kids get to take their masks off, and the black and brown kids don't. And I'm the one standing. I'm the one being like, hello, this seems a little bit wrong, okay? And you knew they weren't going to do it. So but how did they reach this conclusion? Well, we see how Michelle Wu, who is, she's been in office for a month. And she is 10 times the abortion that I thought she could possibly be. I've never seen a bigger tyrant in my life, somebody who's more out of touch with regular people in my life. Keep in mind, we have like a teenage mayor in Boston. She is a 36-year-old woman who has no connection to the city of Boston whatsoever. She moved there 10 years ago from Chicago, where she grew up taking private, piano lessons. And, she posted a picture the other day with her goddamn piano teacher. Literally everything handed to her in life possible. Comes here to go to Harvard, where she's taught by Elizabeth Warren, who's like, this would be a good communist. I can groom this woman for politics. And that's what they do. So they start grooming Michelle Wu to be political. And they're like, see, this outsider, she wants to be a city council. And then she runs for city council and she gets elected. And next thing you know, she's the mayor of Boston. Okay. And she's doing this mandate, the climax mandate. And we've seen that keeps getting delayed because there's so much pushback. Like they're literally showing up at her home in Roslindale every morning, wake up, woo. And I've heard she's like having a mental breakdown. Like I've heard like a legitimate mental breakdown. She is not ready for this.
Did you see the question and answer she tried to do on Instagram?
We're going to get to that. Oh,
you've got it. Okay, right.
So this is how the city of Boston, can we see the top of that tweet? About, tonight I met with 70 of our most engaged high schoolers in Boston. When asked how many... Time
out. Most engaged is a euphemism there for children of left-wing activists. That's what they mean by engaged. They're being driven along there by their left-wing parents.
Right. That's exactly what that means. So, like, what do you mean most engaged? Like, how?
Yeah, I feel most like engaged.
I feel like that should be explained, like where you came to that conclusion about most engaged. And so when asked how many believed we should keep masks on beyond 228 in Boston schools, and so you see the picture there? So this is like, she's not even joking.
One hero raised their hand.
She's not even joking. Like, this is literally how the city of Boston is deciding how it will be governed.
That's not how democracy works, Michelle.
And it's like you said, David, it's like she's acting like this is representative. Like, did you poll all of them? No, you picked 70.
I got 70 of my friends' children, and I asked them to put their hands up when I said so. And there you go.
Right. There you go. So anyway, to me, that's like they're on the mayor's. Like, I guarantee all these kids like love Michelle Wu. They're probably all like, none of them voted for Donald Trump. We also, by the way, didn't see what they actually, voted for. It's very Hitler youthy, by the way. That's why I put that in there.
It's kind of a salute like that, yeah.
And that woman's a hero, whoever that chick is, just sitting in the back. She might be sleeping too, in fairness.
Yeah.
But like I said, we don't. Why are these handpicked children
She doesn't look
determining
that
health
engaged.
policies for the city of Boston. Why are they? The fact that these kids are so stupid that they believe that this will stop the spread of COVID, I think, is problematic.
We don't even have any context. They might be being completely misrepresented there. She might have just said, "Who wants ice cream?" And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't know what the context of that picture is. But she's using it to justify legislation.
Yeah, totally. So these, if they actually believe that this, because they're kids, they've been brainwashing to believe in this by people like Michelle Wu, who just lied to them, like, because they've been dishonest with them. If you ask those kids, like, what percentage of of COVID deaths do you guys think are below 18? They would probably be like 25%, and it's like less than 1%, because they've polled people about this, and they have no idea who's dying. They have nobody. They have no fucking clue who's dying. No. And so, Who was the woman you ran against who said 100,000 children in Massachusetts have died? Silva, and she still hasn't gone to a meeting. Like 100,000 kids have died.
When the actual figure was 0.
Yep. And so I'm like, and by the way, nothing is stopping any of these kids from wearing their masks. Nothing. The fact that it wasn't done anonymously immediately kills this idea that this is a poll. And then she goes on to say this next tweet that follows up with this. Can we see that one? The next tweet says, and she starts posting all this shit. Our young children don't have the luxury of being irresponsible or even carefree. They're eager learners and experienced organizers. Experienced organizers? What? Like, AKA, we've trained them. Huh? You know what that means? Like, this is what fucking liberals love to do. Get behind David Hogg. They've never seen Greta Thunberg. They've never seen a 17-year-old that they can't exploit for something. Like, oh, we are fighting for climate justice because this is our world and we need to protect our world for climate justice and racial justice. And this is what we've been taught. And we are different from other generations of young people. We are active. Bitch, you're not the fucking first people to get. The vast majority of you kids don't even give a shit about this. And the only reason that Michelle Wu likes these kids is because they're fighting for left-wing causes. If those same kids were like, we need gun right justice. Like, gun rights are civil rights. And if you can't afford a gun, then the government should pay for your guns. That's the kind of, like, they're giving. I mean, that's the thing with healthcare, right? Healthcare is a right. Well, so is guns.
How many kids do you think are in the Boston school system in total?
I don't know. Thousands?
Tens of thousands?
Probably. Yeah, I would guess probably close to
100,000. So she handpicks 70 and says, hey, you guys are all now in. So she's almost abjugating responsibility, isn't she? Saying, well, if you don't like the mask mandate, 70 of your own voted for it.
Yeah, that's basically what said. They see no other choice but to clean up after generations of adults before for climate, equity, and yes, public health. I know. They're ready. AKA, they're fighting for the things that I want. Tell me you never interact with Boston's young people without telling me. Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm not going to be lectured by people who haven't graduated high school yet, who, because they don't know more than me. I'm sorry, they don't.
Like, you pompous fucking cunt. Okay.
The arrogance of it.
Can we play the video, the Twitter video I sent you there that was on Tucker last night? Let's play the actual video first, then we can play Tucker's reaction to it. If you guys didn't see this was gold.
Oh,
this
the
was
tweet.
gold.
Oh, the Instagram feed.
Somebody sent me this video like a week ago, and I guess it just went viral now on Twitter.
I seen it today, yeah.
I don't think it's going to go on my end. Can you play the video? Because the Twitter doesn't do sound.
I got it. I got you. Cool. All right. Let me do it on my end. By the way, if you guys, if I don't have a freestyle, if you're here tonight, if you like what we're doing and you want to support the Turtle, I love it. We like to do this brand of journalism. This rebel brand of journalism. There's a link at the top to something called Turtle Chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want, and you can write whatever message you want, and I will get a notification on it on my email, and I will show that on the big screen. Whatever message you want. No donation is too big or too small. We love you people all. Thank you.
And if you don't, the Canadian police will come and knock on your door and ask why not.
That's true too. Okay. All right. So let me play this video here. Okay. Hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Oh,
So background, she goes on Instagram Live to talk about whatever, and she thinks it's going to be some sort of love fest.
Yeah.
This is not this
Thank you for
backfires.
keeping us safe.
Yeah. So here's what happens in real life. Now watch, because she's reading the comments, and you got to read the
Her
comments.
Her face is a picture. It's just beautiful.
All right, here we go.
People to join.
You are ruining our great city.
Okay. In the meantime, I will.
You're ruining Boston.
Try to just fill time by answering any questions anyone has. See a lot of friends who have different. Oh, Happy New Year! Yes, Year of the Tiger. Very, very cute tiger emoji.
Oh my God! Year of the Tiger. Year of the Tiger.
Okay, I mean we're checking with the Congresswoman's team, and if it comes down to it, I will log out and log back in.
This is not going well. Recall her, yeah. Why don't you care about your people? She's waiting for something positive. All she got was Year of the Tiger. How convenient. What have you done today?
What's
Anything
my
exciting?
favorite thing about Boston winter?
I don't even see that question. Leave Boston.
I love snow. I know.
And then she ends the stream.
That 1 minute of bombardment
was just perfect, man. And it just shows that's honestly, she's so out of touch with regular people.
Here's my problem with it, though. I mean, it's great to see that happen and I'm getting ratioed, but at the end of the day, you get what you pays for. And the people of Boston voted heavily for this woman to be their mayor. So they're getting what they deserve, frankly. I mean, I feel sorry for the minority that have got this lunatic woman in charge who, like generation of Democrats, and a great point here. Look at Detroit. After the Second World War, after the recovery, in the 50s up to the early 60s, the richest city in America, if not the world, in terms of affluence because of the motor trade. And they elected their last Republican mayor, I think, in 1961. And ever since then, it's been run by Democrats for 60 years. And look at the city of Detroit now. That's what Democrat policies bring you. And this is what you've got. And yet, people keep voting for them. And they lose a bit of my sympathy when they're too stupid to keep voting for them.
That's wrong. See, because so it's not the people that are like Shana Catonis of the world. They're just outnumbered. That's not her fault that she's outnumbered by comments. And so Michelle Wu is so used to preaching to the choir, so used to talking in echo chambers. And this is what happens when you close yourself off to competing ideas and people who think differently from you. You become completely unaware that other people actually feel this way. Like you put this mandate in and you assume that everybody's going to be like, yeah, this is fucking great. I love this mandate. This is awesome. And thank you, 7 Pounder. He says, he sends me $10. And he says, I worked for 20 minutes to be able to do this. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. So anyway, it just shows how out of touch she is, that she has absolutely no connection to regular working class people whatsoever. When she put this mandate in place, she probably thought like, oh yeah, I'll be a hero for this. This is going to be my crowning thing. And it's going horribly. People are fighting this. She had no idea the type of resistance she was going to get from this. People showing up at her house. All I got to say is keep it up. We need more of this. So I love what I'm seeing right now, the fight that I'm seeing from these people. And people will say, oh, your tactics are no good and you're going to turn people off. So fucking what? Who gives a shit?
Who was the previous mayor?
Walsh, Marty.
Well, Marty Walsh, wasn't it? Yeah, and he was an idiot. This woman's worse.
Oh, people are begging for Marty at this point. I told people they've been begging for Marty. Like, he would not do this. He could have done this. He didn't do this. So these people, they truly seem to believe, right, that they are God's gift and that everybody is just going to get in line with everything they're saying. And so what I'm saying is keep it up, guys. Keep it up. The people outside of her house.
But as long as 51% of the voters.
Hold on. God bless you. Okay. Do it every day. Make her life miserable. Okay. Make her regret ever becoming mayor. You should do that. Like, enough of these fucking politicians who think that they have the right to do this to you. They should be scared of you. They should fear doing this to you. The way that they've been talking to you for the last 2 years, telling you that we're just going to close your business. You're a bad person. You're a white supremacist. They should be afraid to talk to you like that. And Justin Trudeau literally ran and hid. Good. He should run and hide. He should be afraid. She should be afraid. Do not stop going to her house. Keep that pressure up every goddamn day. Monica Cannon Grant thought it was all big and bad until we showed up at her doorstep. Until we showed up there, 6 fucking people with a bullhorn and a loudspeaker. Until we went to the Boston Police Headquarters in Roxbury and kept her from coming there. She showed up like 2 hours late because she's afraid. Keep it going. In a democracy, like Bob says, people should fear the government. She should be fearful of doing something like this, telling you you're going to put this in your body or else we're just going to take rights away from you. Oh, really, cunt? Did you forget who the fuck you work for? No, you're not going to do that to us. You're not going to treat us like we're subhuman trash. So keep it up. I love the spirit that I'm seeing across the world, and I give all the credit in the world to those Canadian truckers because I think they are setting the stage of the world. People are rebelling in Australia. They're rebelling in, because it's a minority. It's keep saying, David, that they vote these people in. Yeah, okay. But what about the 40% that didn't vote for her? What about them?
Absolutely.
That's not their fucking fault. And they should make her scared to do this. Scared. I'll tell you, how about this analogy for David? So like, if they overturned, like let's suppose in this country, they want to make abortion illegal, right? How do you think that would go over with the feminists and the liberals? What would they do?
Oh, there'd be outrage. They'd be up in arms.
Right. And so maybe the right should start using those tactics. Like, they would not put up with that. There would be no fucking, they could never outlaw abortion in this country because they know the reaction that would happen. That's why they can't do it, because they know the react. That's how strong.
It's not a vote winner, is it, though, either?
No, but like, let's suppose the Supreme Court would be afraid to overturn abortion because they'd be afraid of the reaction from the populace. They know what would happen. They would never, ever fucking even dream of doing that. It will never happen in my lifetime. I know that as a fact. And so with this shit, it's like they should feel the same way. They should be afraid to do this. And you have to make them afraid. And that's why I don't even mind the January 6th shit. I don't even mind it. You should be afraid. None of them were, but you should be a little bit afraid. That's all I'm saying.
No, AOC said she was terrified. She was afraid if she was going to be raped, even though she was in another building a mile away.
Yes. Okay. So let me go to the last topic here. They should be afraid to overturn that. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree. That's maybe the January 6th is a bad example, but anyway, let's jump to the last blog there, Deb. Can we jump to whatchamacallit? What was the last blog? I want to talk about the Pepperell woman. Can we bring her up? Because I want to talk about this. Okay. You read my mind. All right. Because there's a twist to this story. So, as you guys know, the mandate is now over in the public schools, or at least it's no longer required by the state. So individual districts have a right to decide whether or not they're going to do it. So here's this woman named Sarah Johnson from Pepperell. Because I knew that, I'm like, wait till you see all the people, right, that are like, this is going to be, I knew when Charlie Baker did this, the mask Nazis are going to be like, oh my God, this is horrible. No fucking way. Not in our town. And, you know, she's a woman with
I'm going to die.
Yeah. And that kind of says it all. You know, she's got the whole vaccines save lives, you know, which it does. Vaccines are great. I love vaccines. And disinformation is deadly, and stop Asian hate. And by the way, she sells masks too. I would like to point that out. But anyway.
Oh, yes.
The superintendent, let's scroll down. The superintendent of the schools, Brad Morgan, somebody posts about him in North. So this is Pepperell's in the North Middlesex Regional School District. It's Townsend, Ashby, and Pepperell. And it says, Pepperell parents rejoice. Brad Morgan and Nancy Milligan need not apply. The masks can come off, and our babies can smile school again on the 28th. Now, Brad Morgan is the same tool bag who literally called the Townsend police on people who did not quarantine after going on February vacation last year, or April vacation, even though he went on one himself. So anyway,
that guy. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that guy. So anyway, this Sarah Johnson woman starts all of a sudden using this girl's death as an example of why kids should wear masks in schools. Okay. Now, this girl's name, and I'd never heard of her until I saw this woman's comments. Her name is Cassidy Baraka. Scroll down for me there. There we go. Let me see this Fox 25 thing. There we go. Okay. So she claims that this girl, Cassidy Baraka, died from COVID. This is the same. I took this screenshot right off WCVB's page, and it says the investigation, this screenshot is art. The investigation is open, and the cause and manner of death is the investigation is open. The cause and manner of death have not been ruled on. The district attorney's office by statute investigates child deaths. So that's the Middlesex County DA. But then underneath it, it says 7-year-old girl dies from complication due to COVID. But yet the DA's office is like the manner of death has not been ruled on. It says it in the same freaking screenshot. Okay. And so then Mass Live has shared a picture of this girl, and Sarah Johnson's all bitching on her page. Oh my God, how can she share a picture of the girl? Bitch, you guys share fucking. It's a screenshot from Mass Live. They did it. And the media is evil. They're saying this girl died from COVID. If this girl got hit by a truck, no one would know who she is. But because she died from COVID, allegedly, her death is useful to the regime. So let's see the things that Sarah Johnson is saying here. So let me read some of these. She says, it's worth noting a 7-year-old in Groton just died from COVID. Groton is a neighboring town of Pepperell. It's thankfully uncommon for kids so young to die, but it happens. And no, it doesn't. Okay. It does. It doesn't happen enough to warrant talking about it. Like, let's put it that way. It happens. No, it really doesn't. It doesn't though. Because you found like a couple.
Yeah, I'd be much more interested if you wanted to talk about child suicide numbers compared to COVID deaths over the same time period.
Kids getting hit by lightning. Like, stop.
Yeah.
It. And it's this 7-year-old girl. So basically, she uses this as a crutch to try to influence mask policies in the North Middlesex Regional School District. And these people, she says, why do you think a mask wouldn't have stopped this? Okay, well, here's an idea. Because she supposedly died from COVID. How about that? And she wore masks to school. So maybe that had something to do with it. That she wore masks and she still got it. So what does that tell you? You fucking idiot. You absolute total idiot. Why do you say COVID has moved on? We have plenty of data. These people fear that so much. But those are rhetorical questions. I'm not going to get into it. My point is, kids are getting sick. Some are dying. No, they're not. No, they're not. Removing mask mandates will not solve mental health issues. Therapy will. Therapy. These are monsters, David. Monsters. Like, their solutions.
I was so angry when I read this because they're using the kids as pawns in their own private war.
No, but the problem is her solution is, it's okay. They'll just go to therapy.
Yeah,
that's normal. It's normal for 7-year-olds.
I'll damage them and then we'll repair them. It's fine.
Yeah, or how about this? We just stop damaging them.
How about we don't damage them in the first place? How about that?
No. We'll fix it. But we don't have the same thing with COVID. Like with COVID, so her philosophy is, well, we'll fuck them up and then we'll give them some brain medicine afterwards and that'll fix them. But with COVID, everything is preventative and nothing comes after. You can't take ivermectin. That's horse dewormer.
Yeah, this has struck me as a weird thing all the way through, ever since it started. It's all been about prevention and not about what to do when you actually get it.
Right.
There's no medication been developed to take when you've got symptoms,
Yeah. Then she says, but this is exactly what it's all about. Talking about whether or not to mask our kids at school is about how much you're willing to risk them getting COVID. If they get COVID, they risk dying. No, they don't. It happens not just to some unknown kid in Tennessee. It happens to real kids and real families like the right one next door, blah, 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 blah. I'm guessing that mother would not want anyone else to go through hell either. I'm guessing that's why they put it in the obit to make this point. So anyway, I would like to point out here, and this goes on. We don't need to read all the screenshots, but this goes on, and read the blog if you haven't read it. It's fucking ridiculous, the things that these people are saying. But did you see the update on this, David, on this story?
No, I haven't seen the update. Bring it up.
Okay. Deb, can you bring up that the new Boston 25 news article? The update on this. And this is, to me, this is so significant, and it's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Let me guess that I'm going to guess what the twist is, but let me guess the twist hasn't had half the coverage that the original scaremongering has.
No. Boston 25 investigates. A week before a girl's death, neglect was reported, was filed by DCF. So go down and not acted upon. So I can't read that on my end. So I got to bring it up over here. Hold on. The words are too small. Give me one moment. All right. Actually, did I send that to you, Deb? I got it in our chat. Give me one moment. All right. Where'd it go? All right, here we go. So it says here, that an obituary for Cassidy Baraka describes her as an avid dancer, singer, and gymnast, and as a little girl who was active in her community. She was a Brownie Scout. The notice goes on to say it was hard not to smile when you met or ran into Cassidy because she smiled all the time. The 7-year-old was an only child and lived with her mom on a quiet street in Groton. Today, pink ribbons adorn her neighborhood, a tribute to her. Pink, her favorite color. Records provided by the town show an ambulance responded to the home she shared with her mother on January 18th. The call was for a medical emergency. She was pronounced dead a short time later. According to her obituary, the little girl died of complications from COVID-19. So keep in mind, David, right? That anyone, you write your own obituary, right? That's not an ME's report. That's an obituary. No. So she died, and I thought that was odd that it said she died from COVID in the obituary. So it goes on to say, we checked with the Middlesex County DA's office. The spokesperson said an official cause and manner has not been determined, which I showed you as well. But 25 Investigates also learned there's more to the story. It involves DCF. Two sources tell us a mandated reporter filed a 51A form on Cassidy's behalf on January 11th, a full week before her death. A 51A is used to alert DCF of suspected child abuse or neglect. How is that not how is this, David, not a much bigger story?
That's the bigger story. That's a far bigger story than COVID.
Nobody was going to mention that? Nobody was going to mention that this girl is literally
doesn't fit the narrative. Narrative is scare people into keeping masks on children because of COVID.
And so this is bizarre. So the story goes on. It says, our team learned that, a home call they went to the home for a call, an EMT did, unrelated to Cassidy, unrelated to her, a week before she died. 25 Investigates hasn't seen that report, but two sources tell us the EMT described the unsanitary and unsafe hoarding conditions. Now, I don't know what happened to this girl, and I am not going to speculate this. I will not do that. No. But this is so relevant. Like the fact that it happened a week before she died, a 51A was filed for suspected neglect, abuse, and the mother was a hoarder. Okay, that's fucking that's something's up with that. I'm not going to speculate about how this girl died, but I have a hard time believing, David, that a perfectly healthy, energetic 7-year-old brownie just died from just got COVID and died. I don't believe that.
I don't believe
it. I do not believe that.
Because 0 healthy children have died of COVID in Massachusetts. There's always been underlying conditions and other reasons.
Right. So like this has been like, but literally the entire media's narrative about this girl dying from COVID came from the obituary.
And the poisonous woman who's been using this child's death to promote masking she should hang her head in fucking shame.
But she won't.
Oh, she won't.
But she won't. No, she won't.
No, she won't. She thinks she's doing great, good work.
No, again, these are trashy, horrible people. According to an email sent by DCF spokesperson, the agency's own regulations state for emergency investigations, social workers must make in-person contact with children as soon as possible within 2 to 4 hours. For non-emergencies, they must do it with the child in question as soon as possible, but no longer than 3 working days. 25 investigators learned a DCF social worker did not visit the home until after she died, more than a week later. So again, they just fucked up. We wanted to know why DCF didn't act sooner, and they issued the following statement. The Department of Children and Family Services, our Children and Families, received a report and is investigating it in collaboration with law enforcement. We tried speaking to her mother on multiple occasions to find out what happened. Instead, a family spokesperson sent us a statement on her behalf. Cassidy was an incredible young girl who touched the lives of many. We are heartbroken by her loss, as is anyone who met her. The support our entire family has received has been overwhelmingly and much appreciated. At this time, we asked for privacy during this extremely difficult time. We shared our feelings with Wendy Murphy, a lawyer and child advocate who teaches at New England, Boston. Does that mean the child would still be alive if DCF did his job? We don't know. If the kid died from COVID, then DCF would have nothing to do with that. That would be speculating, but we do know that they didn't do their job, and now a child is dead. So this is all the mother. I found the mother's Facebook page. Now, again, I am not accusing the mother of anything nefarious here. I am not going there, but let me just show you. This is not what you would expect. Okay. The mother is old. Like really old. Let me bring this up. So this is and this is hard to look at, man. You look at this picture of this girl. That mother, this is the newborn baby. How old does the mother look there? Like 50s? I don't know. She looks old. Don't you think for a new mother?
Which town is this?
Or does the town matter?
Groton. Oh, well, no. I mean, some towns the women seem to be older than the others.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like, so I thought this was the grandma. No, this is the mother's page. And there she is. This is before the baby was born with Patrice Bergeron. She's a huge Bruins fan. She took this kid to games all the time. There she is with the baby with Chris Kelly. I mean, she seemed like she loved the kid, obviously. Like all pictures, it's just her and the baby, her and the baby. And she obviously loves her daughter, understandably. And was really into bunnies too, I guess. But anyway, this whole thing, it's like there's something's more to this, David. That's what I'm saying.
There's more to this than meets. Yeah, and I think we're right not to speculate until, I imagine there's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So people are like, why are you showing kids the kids' photos? Because the media is using this child as a prop.
In the mainstream media already. Yeah,
like talk to Mass Live. They're the one that put her fucking pictures out there.
Have a word with them.
They're literally using this child as a political prop to push for more child abuse of more kids. Of a kid who I'm just going to say right now, she didn't die from COVID. COVID did not kill that child. That did not happen. Okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the details. I will bet you fucking anything this guy did just get COVID and die. No, there is much, much more to this story. Okay. Period. Anyway. So yeah, does it make it okay for me to do it? Absolutely. Use your real fucking name. You won't, because you're a fucking pussy who's afraid to put his name on it. So that's why you come on here and use your fake name. So anyway, so that's that whole thing. And I just, to me, I don't know, David. I won't speculate about what the fuck happened to this kid, but she didn't just wake up and die from COVID. That is not.
It may be one of these ones where we never know, but she definitely this isn't just a COVID story.
No, it is not. It is certainly not. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this week. I was going to get into the.
I wanted to do the woman who didn't want to wait in her car. She wanted to go first. And the principal made her stay because, she's so racist.
Yeah, we ran out of time. Maybe another time we can do that one. But anyway, I think I wrote a blog earlier in the week about the Joe Rogan thing, and I think I got in that last week about it. Not apologizing to mob, and I'm not going to do it.
Don't apologize. Never apologize.
I'll never apologize.
They don't want your apology. They think they see that as an admission of guilt, and they just come after you even harder.
Like the best thing that Joe Rogan could have done is just ignore them. That's what I mean. That's what I should.
Did you see the MMI guy, the black guy, being interviewed at the press conference pre-fight? And they asked Dana White about it, and Dana White pretended he was ignoring and walked off stage. And as he was coming back, as it was a joke, he walked back to the microphone, and the black fighter said, "I've got this, and I'm black," and just basically said, "What a great bloke Joe Rogan is," and did a full-on mic drop.
And he goes, "Joe Rogan's my N-word."
Yes, he did.
That's my N-word right there. Thank you, Caroline. She donates $15 on the turtle chat above, which feel free to do that as well. She says, "Preach, the Woo train needs to derail. We need to vote these people out." And a huge shout out to the Canadian truckers. Absolutely. Anyway, so yeah, basically my whole thing with the Joe Rogan thing is I'm like, okay, so I did a blog on this. Go read the blog. Basically, there's two kind of people that come after me over the years, ratchets and communists. Now, am I comparing myself to Joe Rogan? No, of course not. Anybody who would reach that conclusion after reading my blog has no reading comprehension skills. Of course, Joe Rogan is a million times bigger than I will ever be. No doubt about it. But I would like to point out that the people who are bigger than me, okay, the things that are happening to them, the censorship that's been happening to them has been happening to me long before it happened to them. Like I'm almost like the guinea pig for censorship, David. Like I've been getting kicked off Facebook before it was cool, before all these other conservatives started getting kicked
before it happened to famous people. Yeah.
Like when Kirk Minahan and Jerry got like attacked by Bob Murchison and they went after their advertisers, like, oh, bro, talk to me in 2015. I got this guy, Dan Margolis and Kevin Lynch. And I will say, that of all the trolls who have come after me and all the guys who have failed, I will give credit where credit is due. Nobody has been more effective than those two. Like nobody, like people that
they were relentless, weren't they? That was their main weapon.
And they knew what they were doing. They were relentless. Okay. Which a lot of people are. Like people literally create Twitter accounts about me and just tweet at me all day. Like it's flattering. Like they don't understand how flattering this is, that like you're thinking about me 24/7. You're trying to stop me 24/7 and you're failing because I'm here. Okay. Nothing is ever going to change. I'm never going anywhere. You're going to fail in that regard. Kevin Lynch and Dan Margolis, at least, they did a little bit of financial damage. So I kind of wrote about it in this blog. So Kevin got all of my Facebook accounts taken down. Like I lost a page with 112,000 followers. When that happened, traffic on the website got cut by 50% immediately. And thus revenue gets cut by 50%. And then he starts reporting me to Google AdSense. I lose Google AdSense on the Turtleboy sports page. I have to start a whole new freaking blog because of Kevin Lynch. That's how much damage he did to me. And I'll tip my cap to him like, you did that.
It does show that these big tech companies just don't do their homework. If mass reporting works, just from the same person reporting it over and over and over, whether it's true or not that they're reporting, it's clear that big tech just caves.
Yes, well, it's I don't think it's actual human beings doing it. Like you've seen some of the things that we've been kicked off social media for, right? So anyway, I will tip my hat to him. Like he's somewhat effective in that regard. Now, Dan Margolis, an actual communist, right? He
Red
actually
Danny.
was, Red Danny. He was a member of the Communist Party USA.
He was an actual, unabashed member of the Communist Party.
Yeah, before it was cool to call people communists, he was a communist. And, he's actually a pretty sharp guy when it comes to shit like this. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's like, the 2008 election of Barack Obama and his presidency are perhaps the biggest continuation of that revolutionary spirit and generation. So take a moment to relax and celebrate with family and friends and that we've achieved so far and all the victories to come up to, including a socialist USA. And let's recommit ourselves to the struggles. So basically he's like, oh, good. We got Obama's in there. He's not a full-fledged communist yet, but we got the communist Trojan horse in there. He knows exactly what he's doing. And so he starts writing these blogs on me, like, that call me like sexualizing children because I made a joke about that. The Cash Me Outside girl. I said the Cash Me Outside girl was going to grow up to be a porn star. And spoiler alert,
she did. She did.
So
she had her OnlyFans the moment she became of legal age.
Like, everybody made that joke. That girl was obviously going to grow up and do porn. Obviously.
Yeah. And she made a lot of money at it as well.
Yeah. Like, nobody feels bad for that girl. Like stop it. Stop it acting like you give a shit about the Cash Me Outside girl. Like, you're offended by that. We all know it's true. Anyway, that's what he meant by I sexualized children. And he starts sharing it. And then elected leaders like Sarai.
What does that even mean? What does it even mean? It's like it's become one of these overly used buzzwords used when you don't like what someone has to say. Oh, they're sexualizing children. How do you sexualize a child protectively?
Yeah, I mean, that's
is he taking pictures of them in their underwear and making it look like it's provocative? No. He criticized the ratchet that was on telly mouthing off.
Yeah, and I said she was going to be a hooker, which she turned out to be.
And she was.
Yeah, so
she already was at the time by the sounds of it.
But I will say this, like, he was effective in that he got a lot of advertisers. Like, this guy organized a boycott and they would harass advertisers to the point where they're just like, I can't deal with all these phone calls.
Yeah, they just gave, they just couldn't be dealing with the aggravation. Yeah.
And because of Dan Margolis, who I laughed at first, I literally had to completely restructure how I monetized my website and made a living. Like, I was making a living off of local advertisers who pay me a few $100s every month to have a banner ad on the site. And 5 years ago, I just had to abandon that. I'm like, this is not a sustainable model. And that's why we have Turtle Club now, and we have the donos. So thank you very much, guys, for the donos. Because again, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting free speech in general. You're literally fighting back against these people who want me gone, who want me to stop saying the things that I'm saying. Everything I said to you tonight, that's what they're really offended by. They don't think I sexualize children. They just don't like the fact that I call out pieces of shit. That's what they do. They don't like the fact that I call out people who, lose their children to DCF because they're raging alcoholics. They don't like that because I put a light on that and I put a spotlight on you and like, you're a shitty person. So the latest people that have come after me, David, they're coming after me for like personal shit, which to me is oh, that's the best you've got. Like, oh, jerk off videos. Oh no, people see me naked. Oh no, what am I like? Oh no, I'm gonna quit now. Like,
what's bizarre is their fascination with them. I've not seen them, and I have to tell you, no disrespect to you, I love you like a brother, but I don't want to see the video.
Yeah.
Whereas they're fascinated by them. They must have watched them over and over, and they.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over and over and over and screenshotted in time frame. Like, oh yeah, this is when he comes.
Oh.
This is the best part. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking weird, but okay, to each their
own.
Why?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're a good guy and all that, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah, so
it's I'm pretty sure you don't want to see me in any state of undress.
No, I would take your word for it.
Exactly. So why the fascination?
And so ultimately, David, what did they think I was just gonna quit? Like, what is their end game here? Like, do they think I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah,
you think they know by now, but you just bounce back after that. You go, oh really? Is that your best shot? And it almost fuels you.
Yeah. So I'm like just letting these people know, like, as much as you think you got me, you don't. Like, you think that you don't. Like, I'm just gonna quit. Like, you guys should know better. You've been following this blog for how long? Like this woman says here, this woman, Rashana, what'd she say about me? She says, reading Turtleboy and being a credible news source, Turtleboy, regarding Turtleboy not being a credible news source, ask the Napa Valley, California police how legit his reporting is. Ask the Mass State Police. Yeah. Ask if there's any state troopers out there that used to be state troopers because they were, and then I found out they were drug dealers and they lost their job. Those people might exist. I don't know.
Was Napa Valley? Was that Kylie Kirkpatrick?
That's the Kylie Kirkpatrick story. So
Yeah.
thank you, Rashana. So this woman, Rashana, she was a big supporter over the years. Like she bought t-shirts in 2014, 2015. But the problem with some of these people, David, and I feel bad for them because they're so retarded they can't help themselves. Like Rashana has been messaging me with story ideas for years, shitting on people too. Like I went back and I saw her messages, like so many people. This is stalking me. I feel unsafe. I'm no longer coming to this gym. All right. Any questions?
Adam Hurst, what kind of whale is it? I think she's a sperm whale. Just guessing, but I think that would be the sort.
Might be. Okay. Anybody else have any questions that they want to ask? Sir, please never disrobe again. I promise I won't.
He is a whale as opposed to being from Wales. It's a different thing.
You didn't quit your job. Actually, I did. I wrote a whole blog on it, my guy. Not only did I
quit,
you
wrote an entire book about it.
but in the book, I didn't actually post the documents of leaving Shepherd Hill. I actually posted the documents, and it clearly says on there that they are going to pay a full year's salary in order for me to, quit, resign, same shit, which they would not do. They would not pay you a full year's salary if they thought they had grounds to fire you because
Correct.
I didn't do anything. So there you go. Anyway, again, Chusak, if you're, why do you lie? So you feel free to come up on the panel. I will put the link in there. I know you won't do it. Because you're an anonymous pussy. But we'll give you a chance anyway, if you'd like to come on and share your thoughts with me, because I don't lie about anything. I am what I am. I am what I am. Any other questions? Did Mike Giannetti really contact? Well, I think so, because he contacted me. So Mike Giannetti called me and he said, "Hey, Turtleboy, I'm calling you because this chick Rachana told me that you are a fucking child molester." And so so she acted as a conduit for that harassment. So that's illegal. You go to jail for that. So deformation. Stop.
Yeah, she's not a credible sauce though. He ain't got no sauces.
I got no sauces. Well, this is his sauce. Although the first kind of
a lot of whale sauce, right there.
Mostly ranch and barbecue. Mostly blubber sauce. Yep. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask me? Sorry, no, I couldn't. I ran out of time for the freestyle. I'll do a freestyle next week. I promise. The turtle is my spirit animal. Thank you, Tina. I have the
sarcastic petty bitch just like me.
I know. We have the best, and Tina's a great person. She's been reading the blog for a while, commenting on it.
Obviously, you've said for years, Aidan, that we have not only are our readers the most intelligent readers on the internet, they're also the best looking people as well.
Look at the ones who leave.
Exactly. That just makes it even, those that are left of us, even better looking by comparison.
Yeah, like she read the room and she's
That's
like,
just
wait a
science.
minute.
Yeah.
Something here doesn't look like the other. I'm going to go over
One
here.
of these things here doesn't belong.
Yep. So final for tomorrow. I put a bunch of bets in, Lance. I think it's going to be an exactly 2-point game. And I think whoever loses is going to try to tie the score up again. I think it's going to be like a furious finish, and they're going to try to tie the score up with a 2-point conversion and fail. That's how I
disagree. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. I think there'll be level. And there'll be a fourth quarter field goal, and that will be the difference between the sides. It'll be a level game decided by a late field goal.
On a field goal, huh? You don't see that happen very often. You don't see
it happened in virtually every one of the playoff games. Was a walk-off field goal virtually.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen again.
That's a good point. That's a high score, Kevin. That's a very high score. So I always bet on the MVP. I took Jamar Chase MVP, although it's, more than likely it's going to be Burrow or Stafford. It's almost always a quarterback. But I always take a flyer on somebody. I think his odds are like 25-1 or something like that. I don't like to, I took Edelman 3 years ago for MVP. He was like 15-1 and he won. And that's what I like to do because it's like it's more fun that way. It's more fun to take a flyer on some obscure person to win MVP. It just took a lot of the over-unders on yardage. I have so many fucking bets. I love the Super Bowl, man. I fucking love it. Squares. It's just a great time. I love Super Bowl Sunday. Best day of the year.
Just a quick question. Do you know who's the... I mean, I know this is what I deliberately turn off because it's the worst part of the Super Bowl, the halftime show. I am not interested in that in one bit. Do we know who it is?
Oh, it's the best halftime show ever this year. All West Coast gangster rappers from the 90s. Dr.
Kill me
Dre.
now. I will be not watching that.
You don't like Dr. Dre?
I like Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre is the greatest. I think he's the greatest of all time. As far as
forgot about Dre.
Like they did forget about Dre. Eminem. Like I
Brought
bet
him
you.
back.
I bet you Ice Cube doesn't make an appearance. I don't know. You could take bets on what the first song is going to be. You know what I took? You know what I bet on the first Super Bowl halftime song, David?
Go on.
California Love. I think even though it's a Tupac song, they're in California. Wouldn't that make the most sense?
I see. I didn't know. I'm not aware of the body of work of these individuals, I'm afraid, because I really don't like rap one bit.
Oh, you don't like rap, huh? Sorry to hear
I like little bits of DMX. I like little bits of Eminem and little bits of Dre, but that's about it. Most of it is just utter shit.
Yeah, you picked a weird year. You picked a weird year to shit on the fucking Super Bowl halftime show because it's gonna be fucking awesome this year. Like this is like
okay. I'll tell you what. Just to prove I'm open-minded, I'll start watching it.
Yes, attaboy. Although it'll be
show, that is. I'm going to watch every second of the game, but I will give the halftime show a chance because I trust your judgment.
You're going to have to sleep at some point, but
yeah, not sure when. No, listen, you're a long time dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
There you go. Okay. Any other questions, guys, before the call tonight? Good audience.
Any questions?
We got 150 people at 11:30. How about that?
Or 4:30 if you're in the UK.
See, I like 13 King songs. Like, I don't know. It really doesn't matter to me. Exactly. That's a great way to do it. It's like, don't listen to people who don't matter. If let them listen to you. Let them listen to you.
As the guy said in the MMA interview last night, fuck the noise.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah. See, I'm not alone in thinking like that.
All right. I don't know where Alina's been, but anyway, I guess we'll call it a night. Thank you, David, for joining us. Deb.
Pleasure as always, sir.
Deb, thank you for producing. You did a great job.
Anytime.
And we will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live on...
Oh, leave a comment when the video finishes.
Thank you for the reminder, David. And give us a like. How many likes we got on this? 127. Not too shabby. Okay, cool. We will see you guys all on Tuesday night for the next episode of Turtleboy Live. And thank you for the donos. Peace, Turtle Riders.